I am joined today by Colonel Charles McGee, one of the original Tuskegee Airmen. It is such an honor to have you here. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Now, you were awarded, and I just messed this up a minute ago, but you were awarded the
Legion of Merit.
Legion of Merit, the Distinguished Flying Cross,
Yes.
the Bronze Star, and a Congressional Gold Medal.
Yes.
Now, you flew over 400 combat missions in...
Indeed, 409, because I was still on board after World War II, then Korea, and then Vietnam.
And you flew a ton of different airplanes. Did you have a favorite?
Oh, yes, go fighter pilot's going to be the P-51 Mustang, but you got to qualify with the Rolls-Royce Merlin engine.
Now, your main role during World War II was as a bomber escort, correct?
That's correct. Our bombers, of course, destroying Germany's war-making potential, but they thought we had enough guns on the B-17s and B-24s to protect them. Not so against the German Air Force. Some of the early missions, they were losing half of a squadron. And that's 10 crewmen to an airplane lost.
How did the bomber crews react to you guys as their escorts?
Well, earlier in fact, many didn't know throughout the war that the then red-tailed P-51s were black pilots.
Were they surprised?
Some were surprised and some very happy because, as I say, in our escort work, we did follow our leaders' admonishment to stick with the bombers, and so we've gotten a slap on the back and a thank you.
Now, did you ever have any scary moments while you were flying escorts for bombers?
Well, I put it this way. I've often asked that by youngsters and say, not scary. Some moments to get your adrenaline up. I say, if you're scared, you're in the wrong business, for sure.
Now, you probably faced some challenges going towards becoming a pilot. What advice would you give to middle school students that are facing challenges?
Dream your dreams, but prepare and find out what your talents are. Get a good education. You know, I always say, learn to read, write, and speak well, but also develop the talents and skills that you have. Let excellence be your goal in everything that you do.
Were you ever scared when you were jumping out of an airplane?
Yes, twice every jump.
And what were those two times?
Those two times was when I went out the door, and the second time was when I got close to the ground.
Now, how many jumps did you end up with?
286.
Wow, 286 jumps. Were there any interesting stories with any of those jumps?
One jump, and I don't have no idea which one it was. I just know it was at Fort Bragg, and we were making a mass jump. And of course, I went out the lead jump on one door. I heard somebody yelling, "Slip, slip!" And I looked down, and there was a chute just below me. The paratrooper on that chute had seen me. I hadn't seen him. So I pulled down on my rear risers to slip to the rear, and all I did was dump my chute and drop on top of his chute on the canopy. We were trained that if you landed on anybody else's chute, to get off and activate your reserve chute. Honestly, I took a couple steps and my legs were going down into the chute that I was standing on. And about that time, my main parachute started covering me up. And I figured this is no time to get off, because if I go off now and pull my reserve, it'll entangle and I'm gone. So I laid down. My excuse for the people around me where I laid down is so I wouldn't fall off.
So you were on top of his parachute?
Laying down, and my chute was furled on top of me. And I could hear him yelling, "Get off, get off!" But I didn't answer, but I wasn't going anywhere. When he did his parachute landing fall, his chute collapsed, and I went the last 28 feet by myself. I landed and just knocked all the wind out of me. My eyes were open. I could see people running around, and I could hear them talking, saying, "You all right? You all right?" And I couldn't move a muscle and couldn't say a word. So after a few moments, I guess, I was able to get up and stagger around in a circle and get tangled up in my own harness and fall over, and then I was all right.